In this episode of the Gray Matter podcast, I'll share with you ways to help you unleash the visionary that lies within. Stay tuned. Hey, I'm Jonathan Gray. I'm an award-winning creative director, a personal branding expert, and a creative mentor based out of St. Pete, Florida. I help creative entrepreneurs shift their goals, skill sets, mindsets to build a profitable and impactful creative business. I'm dedicated to helping you attract the right paying clients, build that credibility in your industry, and to provide a roadmap for creating that profitable and scalable freelance business. And if this is your first time with us, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. And don't forget to share some love by hitting that like button. Now, let's dive in. So I believe within you is a visionary that's anxiously waiting to be unleashed. But in order to unleash it, we have to fully understand, what does it really mean to be a visionary? Now, although there are various ideas and definitions of what a visionary is, but to me, it's someone who isn't afraid to take risks. It's someone who forges their own path and really who questions everything. A visionary creates when others doubt. They embrace who they truly are, and they see unlimited possibilities where others just can't. But sadly, we aren't really taught to think like this. From an early age, we are bred to live life from a very limited template. And this template tells us that we need to learn to be successful, what it means to be successful, what kind of job we need to be to feel accepted, and who we need to become to live this idea of a happy and fulfilling life. But the truth is, we're way too vast to fit in such a small box. What we truly need is a container that allows us to play wholeheartedly, to experiment, and allow us to really lead with more curiosity. A container that really pulls out our truest gifts and reveals our deepest talents so we can embrace the self that we are meant to become. And to me, that's what a visionary is. We are ultimately that container that just encourages freedom. And that freedom can show up any way that fits you. And that's what's so awesome about this. My version of freedom and your version of freedom can be completely different, but there's room for everyone to have that. So whether it's the freedom to work when you want, work with who you want, and get paid what you want, or the freedom to devote the time and energy to projects that really fuel your creativity, or simply the freedom just to live life on your own terms and not living up to the expectations of others. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know it sounds too good to be true, but I'm here to tell you that this is really possible. And you know why it's possible? Because I feel like I'm living in this container. You see, I used to believe that the higher I worked in a company, the happier I would become. I believed the more money that I made, the more fulfillment I would feel. And I believed the longer hours I worked, the more I would feel accomplished. But the truth was, I was tired, I was overwhelmed, I was overworked, and I was on the brink of burnout. The quality of my work was starting to suffer, and I began questioning my path altogether. I was at a crossroads, and I really didn't know what to do. But despite all this hardship and challenges I was facing during this time of my life, I came to a very important realization that I really still live by to this day. And that is, you can't elevate your business and your life on just talent alone. I knew if I was going to make some radical shifts in my life, that my toolbox was going to need to expand. I knew how to become someone else, a bigger version of who I already was. And before I knew it, I was on this path of unleashing my visionary within. So enough about me, enough about my story. Let's talk about you. So what can we do to bring out the visionary that lies with you? So what I did is I compiled 5 tips to help jumpstart your journey. All right. So the first thing that you can start doing is really get some deep awareness about who you are and really know yourself deeply. You have to know your strengths. You have to honor and leverage your weaknesses and contemplate what that higher vision of your life not only looks like, but what it feels like. If you don't take the time to know yourself deeply, then how are you going to know what it's like to be that visionary or what that visionary to you is? So yeah, diving into your psyche can be uncomfortable, but the truth is this work requires growth. And this growth, you have to get uncomfortable, because if you're not challenging yourself, then you're never going to change. All right. The second thing is you have to get clear on your goals. Goals are dreams without deadlines, and they have the ability to drastically alter the course of your entire life. But unfortunately, most people really do just live on cruise control. When you're in the process of setting your goals, you have to be super specific. What does that life look like? What does that goal feel like when it's fulfilled? How does reaching this goal affect your life? What's the time frame of this goal? And the secret sauce to help you achieve your goal even faster is to imagine yourself already having it. The third thing is, now that you have your goal, you have to take action. So now that you have your vision established, you have your goal set, it's time to create some momentum. So it's not enough to know what you want. You have to be brave enough to reach out and grab it. But the sad fact is, so many people give up before they even start. So how do you know what actions to take? The best thing that I do, and I highly recommend, is you have to listen to what inspires you. And when you hear that feeling, when you have that, you have to pursue it wholeheartedly. Because that feeling of inspiration is your internal guidance system. Think of it as your personal GPS. The more you follow what excites you and inspires you, the more opportunities are going to show up. And the fourth thing you have to do is you have to hold the vision. I'm not going to lie. You're going to be tested. You're going to face challenges in all aspects of your life. And at times, it might feel like you've hit rock bottom. You'll want to throw in the towel. I've been there several times. You might be thinking that this path is too hard, and you might be just like, what? I think I'd rather just go back to my desk job. But these are the moments of initiation. And as long as you hold a vision and keep moving forward, will you be able to break through to the other side? These moments are designed to see if the vision you're holding is really worth it. And if you're not willing to make the sacrifices, then you might need to expand on your vision. Because becoming a visionary it's like weightlifting. If you don't have resistance, then you're never going to grow and you're never going to fill in to this new version of yourself. And lastly, you have to follow the breadcrumbs. Now that you've devoted to yourself to your path of the visionary, you're going to start seeing some patterns unfold around you. It's going to feel like the universe is conspiring to push you along your journey. And if that sounds too esoteric for you, here's a more grounded example. Have you ever thought about buying a specific car, and after researching it and reading reviews, you start seeing this car everywhere? They didn't just pop out of nowhere. Their cars have always been around, but now you have the consciousness to acknowledge them. And that's exactly how this works. Opportunities have always been around you, but now you have the awareness to see it. And when you notice them, that's a sure sign to follow that breadcrumb. And if you keep following the breadcrumbs, the more opportunities will start showing up. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope this information helped. Make sure to leave a comment with any questions you might have about this topic, and don't hesitate to reach out. And if you are ready to level up your confidence, creativity, and cash flow, then schedule a complimentary creative clarity call with me. During this 45-minute session, we'll get super clear on your business goals, and we'll create a personalized action plan to help you achieve them. So just click the link in my comments to access my calendar. Just choose a date and time that works for you, and I'll see you there. So thanks again for listening. I hope to hear from you all soon, and take care.